It was late, and I was working alone in the office, just trying to get a few extra hours in before the weekend. The building was nearly empty, save for a few stragglers still hunched over their desks. My office was on the top floor, a quiet, dimly lit place that felt empty even in the daytime. The kind of place where, if you didn't have a window, you'd forget the world was even outside. Around 11 p.m., everyone else had left. I had a deadline, so I kept my head down, typing away, the hum of the fluorescent lights the only sound. Then, the elevator dinged. I figured it was just someone coming back to grab something they'd forgotten. But when I glanced at the elevator, no one was there. I heard the door slide open, and then nothing. No footsteps, no sounds of someone walking down the hall. I shrugged it off and went back to my work, but the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Something was off. The feeling crept in like a thick fog, suffocating the air in the room. I felt watched. I glanced over at the elevator again, expecting to see the door closing or someone standing there, but nothing. Then I heard a soft scraping sound. At first it was faint, like fingernails dragging across the floor, but it was unmistakable. I froze, heart pounding. It came from the far end of the hall, just out of sight. I sat there for a moment, debating whether to call security, but the thought of going out there, into that dark hallway, felt worse than waiting. I tried to focus on my screen, but the sound grew louder, closer. Something was moving in the dark, creeping toward me, but it was so slow, so deliberate, I couldn't make out what it was. Finally, I stood up, my legs weak, and grabbed my phone. I stepped to the door of my office and peered into the hall. Empty. But there was something in the corner of my eye. At the end of the hallway, just before the stairwell, I saw a shadow, a dark, shifting shape that didn't belong. It was tall and wrong, like it wasn't fully there, moving in a way that didn't match the natural laws of space. I backed into my office, locking the door behind me, my breath coming in sharp gasps. I called security, but there was no answer. I couldn't reach anyone. I kept my eyes fixed on the hallway, terrified of turning my back. The scraping sound stopped. And then it was silent. I didn't leave the office that night. When the morning shift arrived, I told them what had happened. They laughed it off, told me it was probably just the building's old pipes acting up. But the thing is, I know what I heard. I know what I saw. The elevator has never dinged on that floor after hours since, and I've never been back to that building.